Hi friends, welcome to my channel and welcome back. I'm Jeannie and today we're going to do a simple dip powder mani that's really beginner friendly. So I'm going to be using the Fae Trap Bundle from CN Designer Dips. So these colors were created to pair with Fae Trap, which is a previous advent calendar color. I believe it's from 2024. So all of these colors are available in the shop, but they are so beautiful and they're giving me all the spring vibes. This bundle has a mixture of glitters, shimmers, and foil, so a little bit of everything, and we're going to throw in a little bit of an ombre on my thumb. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, let's go ahead and jump right into it. I'm going to be starting with Celestial Pearl first, and whenever I'm dipping, I like to start with my solids and go to shimmers and glitters. There aren't any solids in this bundle, so in addition to starting with solids, shimmers, and glitters, I like to go in order of lightness to darkness with the colors, and that just kind of helps with like cross-contamination. So Celestial Pearl is my lightest color, and it's also a shimmer. So this is like a light pink, but I feel like it does have a very slight purple undertone to it, or maybe it's just my skin tone that brought out a little bit more purple to it. But this one is so beautiful because it has this like blue shimmer that I just wasn't expecting. And based on the way it's looking after I dipped, I feel like this one would be really beautiful chromed. I haven't tested chroming with it, but most, I don't think all, but most of CN Designer Dip's shimmers can be chromed. So I went ahead and I dipped in the powder. So you can see that kind of like light blue sheen on my skin. That's kind of what makes me think that it can be chromed, because usually chromable shimmers have that sheen to it. So Celestial Pearl is going to go on my thumb and middle finger. So I'm applying a thin, even layer of dip base to my entire nail. And your dip base is an air dry. This is the glue which your dip powder is going to adhere to. I am using the dip liquids from CN Designer Dips. So I'm just making sure to get my entire nail covered. And then once I have it covered, I'm going to go ahead and dip into the powder, tap off the excess powder, and then before it's dry, I do like to take a precision tool and make sure that I clean up around my cuticle area and sidewalls to remove any of the excess product, as well as clean up those lines a little bit. Once it's dry, I can go ahead and dust off the excess powder. The CN Designer Dips dip base is a little bit of a faster dry, so I don't have a long wait time, but always make sure that in between your dip layers that you're dusting off the excess powder, because that kind of reduces contamination. You don't want to gunk up your dip base with like excess powder. So just remove what you can with a dust brush. I just use like a soft, fluffy makeup brush, but you can also use a stiff scrub brush. However, if you do use a stiff scrub brush, you need to make sure that your dip base is completely dry, or else you will mess up your dip powder layers. Because I get a little impatient, I just use a soft dust brush, because sometimes it's mostly dry, but not completely dry, not enough to scrub at least. So I'm going ahead, I'm going in with layer 2, although I did get full coverage with one layer because these are really great full coverage shimmers. I just like to build up a little bit more thickness, because the thinner your layers are, the more likely they are to crack. So generally my preference is to do 2 layers of color and then cap and clear, which I will do for this mani. And I'll kind of explain why I cap and clear once we get to that, but I'm going to do all my colors first before we do that. So if I missed any spots with my first layer, I want to make sure that I'm covering it up with my second layer. So I'm just taking my time, being a little bit slower to make sure I've got everything covered. I don't want to get any dip base on my skin. If I do, I want to clean that up if I catch it before I dip in, because that's just the easiest way. Because once you dip into the powder, you're now going to have like the dip base and the powder on your skin. So make sure that you clean up as you go, and that'll make like your filing and buffing process quicker and easier. I do also want to mention that these colors were sent to me as PR, as an ambassador for CN Designer Dips, except Fae Trap. I already had Fae Trap because I purchase their advent calendar every year, because it's my absolute favorite. Generally, the advent colors get released in the next year, like gradually, depending on supply and things like that. However, I just love the experience of advent calendars, so I think I have like 3 or 4 now, just because I love them so much. But regardless, now that we have that out of the way, I did my 2 dips of Celestial Pearl, so I'm going to move on to my next color, which is Milk and Honey. This is a white, so it's actually lighter than Celestial Pearl. So that kind of go against my like lighter to darker. However, the reason why I did it in this order is because Celestial Pearl is a heavy shimmer, whereas Milk and Honey has like microfoils in there. It's like a microfoil shimmer, I believe. And so it's got like a little bit of larger pieces than Celestial Pearl. So I kind of grouped that into like the glitter category, even though it's not as large as glitters. So that's why I decided to do Milk and Honey next. And they're so light. They're both such light colors. I wasn't really worried about like contamination of like Celestial Pearl staining Milk and Honey, because that's really what I'm concerned about when I go from light and dark. Light to dark is like the darker colors staining my lighter colors. But regardless, I'm going to do 2 dips of Milk and Honey as well on my ring finger. It is a little bit messy because the microfoils are so fine. They do tend to fly everywhere, but it is such a beautiful dip powder. Like when it catches the light right, because I feel like it's not really getting captured well in this video or in pictures, but when the light catches it, you just see like the reflect of the micro shimmers, and it's just absolutely beautiful. Don't let this one fool you. Even though it's a white, it is, you just have to see it in person to see how beautiful it is. I feel like this would make such a beautiful wedding mani because with the white base, it's very elegant and timeless, but it's also got that little bit of bling to it, but not in your face with like those silver microflake shimmers. There's just something so beautiful about it, and I hope the video is capturing it. But in the meantime, I'm moving on to my next color. This is Dancing Leaves, and this is my favorite from the bundle. Even though it's the Fae Trap bundle, and the bundle was created for Fae Trap, this one is my favorite. I absolutely fell in love with it. So it's a sheerer, lighter color. So it's like a light green bluish base, but it also has like champagne foils in there. But my favorite part is that it has pink hollow shards in it. And when you can get that hollow to pop, it is just so gorgeous. I love anything hollow, so that's what really got me about this, because the way that pink hollow pops against like that light blue green base is just so, so pretty, but it's also delicate at the same time. So I honestly wanted to do more fingers with it, but I also wanted to use all of the bundle. So I just kind of compromised and did, 2 fingers, and then maybe I'll use it at another time. And I should also mention though, these jars are so full that I do pour them into my Chaos Gemerald just to make it easier to dip into, because if I tried to dip into a really full jar, it would overflow and make a big mess. So I just find it easier to pour it out. So I finished with my first layer. So as you can see, it is sheer. I don't have a lot of coverage, and I don't have like a lot of those like foils and everything, but that's okay because we're going to capture more with our second layer. So even though I did dust off the excess powder after my first layer, after my dip base was dry, I still might get like some excess foil or glitter pieces in my dip base brush. If that happens, just make sure that you wipe your brush on like a lint-free wipe or a paper towel before you return it to the bottle so you don't contaminate your bottle. Sometimes I'm lazy about that, I'll be honest, but if you notice like bigger pieces in your dip base brush, you can always just make sure that you wipe it before you return it to the bottle so that you're not contaminating it. So you can see with the second layer, I did pick up a lot more of those foils and those shards. So as the dip base is drying, I am pressing down because they're really thin, so you don't really have to worry about them sticking up. But if I didn't press them down, if they didn't like adhere to the dip base, they would just brush off. So I would lose some of that value of the pretty foils and shards. So I like to press down as much as I can so that they stick to my nail. So here I did get a little bit dip base on my skin, so I'm cleaning that up before I dip in and just tapping off the excess powder. And then once again, while the dip base is still wet, I'm pressing down to press down those foils and those shards. And then if you find that you don't want to do another dip, but you want more like shards or foils or whatever the case may be, you can just do like a little bit of hand placement by just placing a layer of dip base on your nail and then like dipping an orange whisk stick, precision tool, whatever the case, in the wet dip base and picking up little plate pieces and just sticking them on your nail. So Fae Trap is just going to be an ombre on my thumb because I ran out of fingers because I really wanted to do dancing leaves on 2 fingers. So I'm just applying a thin, even layer of dip base to my entire nail. And this is real time, so you can see that I have plenty of time to do my ombre. But I first want to make sure that I've got my entire nail covered. That's my preference, even though it's only going to be at my cuticle area. You can just do like a little past halfway of your nail, but I just like to do my whole nail for even coverage. But I dipped my eyeshadow brush into that glitter, and then I'm tapping. My finger is pointed a little bit downwards to let gravity let those glitters kind of naturally fall and cascade towards the center of my nail. So the most amount of glitter is going to be at my cuticle area. I am moving my nail from side to side to make sure that I'm getting those sidewalls as well. If I need more glitter, I'm going to pick up more glitter by dipping my brush back into the glitter. And then I'm going to press down to make sure they're laying flat. There's that one piece that went a little bit further than I wanted. So while the dip base is still wet, I'm just going to move that up a little bit just because I didn't want it to be that far down on my nail. But the rest of it I'm happy with. Like, I didn't want to go too crazy with the ombre, but you can see I had plenty of time to do the ombre even with the little bit faster drying dip base. So now that I'm done with all my nails, I'm going to go ahead and cap them in clear, and I am using the CN Designer Dips Ultra Clear 2020. So same process for regular dipping. I'm applying a thin even layer of dip base to my entire nail, and I'm dipping in the clear. And the reason why I'm capping in clear is because I do want that third layer for a little bit of strength and thickness on my nails. I didn't want to do another layer of color because the clear acrylic is stronger, and it's going to protect my glitters from filing and buffing so I don't file through them. So once my dip base is completely dry, this is the point where I'm going to take a stiff scrub brush and I'm going to make sure that I scrub my nails really well to remove any of that excess clear powder. That's a really important step after you're done with your clear, to make sure that your nails are the clearest and there isn't any graininess or cloudiness. Once I've scrubbed off the excess clear powder, I'm going to go ahead and activate my nails. Activator is what hardens or cures your dip powder. And because I have 3 layers of dip powder on my nail, I like to apply a couple passes of activator to my nails because I want to make sure that it's penetrating through all 3 layers of dip powder to harden them all. Because if your nails aren't sufficiently hardened, it could like come off in chunks when you go to file and buff. So I waited about 2 minutes for my nails to harden, and then I went ahead and filed and buffed off camera. So here's how my mani's looking. So now we're going to get into my favorite part, which is always the dip top coat, because that's when you really see like the payoff of the mani that you did. So in order for your dip top coat to dry, it does need a layer of activator. This time I'm only going to do one thin layer of activator to all my nails. You don't need to apply a lot because you've already done your filing and buffing. This is just so your top coat can dry. So after I apply the activator to my nails, I wait a full 2 minutes for the activator to dry. And then after the 2 minutes, I'm going in with my first layer of dip top coat. For my first layer, I'm applying in 2 to 3 swipes on each nail. I want to be fairly quick about it. If I missed a spot, I'm not going to worry about it. In between each nail, I'm going to make sure to wipe my brush on a lint-free wipe to remove any excess activator. And then after I'm done with my 5th nail, I'm ready to go in with my second layer. Dip top coat always needs 2 layers in order to be super shiny. So for my second layer, if I missed any spots on my first layer, I can take a couple extra strokes. I also want to make sure that I'm capping my free edge for longevity, especially if you're wearing peel base like I am, because it's going to help a little bit with the wear time. I mean, it's still going to pop off early because that's the whole point of peel base, but it will help a little bit if you want it to stay on a little bit longer. So you may notice that I am still wiping my brush in between each nail for my second layer. It's not really necessary. It's important for the first layer. You don't have to do it for the second, but I just think it's a good habit to have because I'd rather play it safe, because I don't want to contaminate my whole bottle of dip top coat. So after I'm done with my second layer, I'm going to let that dry, which this is fairly quick dry time. I'd say probably like 2 to 3 minutes and it's fully dry. So it doesn't take a lot of time at all. But once it's completely dry, I'm going to finish off my mani by rehydrating my cuticles with my Scales of a Mermaid cuticle oil. This is in the scent Pixie Dust. I love this scent so much, and I thought it kind of matched like the theme and the mood of my mani because I always like to be matchy matchy, but my skin's like extra dry because I had to dehydrate my nails and then like the powder and the filing and buffing. So I just want to make sure that I rehydrated everything with some oil. So I make sure that I apply a generous amount and rub that in really well. And so that pretty much wraps up today's mani. So it kind of gives me Easter vibes, but I'm not mad at it because I think I'm ready for the spring weather. And this was just something really easy to do that I feel like is beginner friendly. But these colors are just so beautiful that they look like you spent a lot more time on them than you actually did. So I hope this video is helpful and I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, I'd appreciate if you gave this video a thumbs up. It lets me know to continue creating content like this, and it also helps YouTube recommend me to others, which helps grow my channel. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing. I upload content every Monday and Thursday at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. As always, I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.